What was your reaction?
I think, listen, this is just, uh, let's start with this. Let's start with this. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure everybody has seen it by now. But the stat that the Patriots have more wins this season than the Titans have since firing Mike Vrabel is unbelievable. That sounds like it was made up because it should be. But I think this is one of the reasons you look at this game and you're confused as to how the Titans even came to that assumption that it was him when you traded away Brown, who he didn't want to do. Derrick Henry leaves. He was bringing teams with Ryan Tannehill leading them to the playoffs. So the number one seed, I think they were one season. Um, but I think that this was just great coaching. I think it was great execution. Listen, the first couple of drives, it kind of seemed like, okay, are the Patriots, taking this a little bit too lightly? We know what the Titans are. They're 1-5 on the season, so obviously we know that they're not very good. Patriots are coming off of a great win against the Bills, or was that the previous, or was that the week before?
So Bills, Saints, Titans.
Saints. Okay, yeah, yes. Okay, so they play the Bills. You have the high of that. You go in, you beat the Saints, which you're supposed to do, and then you're also supposed to beat the Titans. But you kind of get into that lull of playing back to back bad teams. I think teams now look at the Patriots and actually expect things from them. Where previously, which sounds crazy because obviously we grew up in a time where they were just a continuous dynasty. But these past few years, you play the Patriots, and it was kind of like, okay, well, that's a W on the schedule. But now teams are expecting things, and thankfully, it just doesn't seem to matter. You know, I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but Drake May's playing well. Um, eighth in the league in touchdowns. I believe he's in the same spot for passing yards on the season. He's number one in completion percentage. He just set the Patriot all-time record in completion percentage in this past game. I think it was 95.2%, which is obviously unbelievable. But I think every facet of the game showed up in this one because after those first couple of drives from the Titans where they had their points, you just never thought that they were going to get back into the game. And no matter who you're playing, or I shouldn't say no matter who, when you're playing bad teams, that's how games should go. I think that there's levels to wins in the NFL or in any sport, and people might not like it because you always hear people say whether it's pretty or not, it doesn't matter. It's still a W at the end of the day. They can't take wins or losses away, whatever. I understand that, but do you feel better beating the Titans 31-13, or if we had to kick a game-winning field goal and win 16-13? Which one's going to make you feel better? And we're all going to be honest, it's the one that happened 31-13 this past week because you took care of what you were supposed to do. I mean, you can look at, you can go to a different team. The Broncos beat the Jets in London last week. What was it, 13-11? It was some disgusting, terrible game, awful. I mean, you listen to them talk about it, it's like they lost the game. That's how you should feel. Because when you play bad teams, you're supposed to make them look bad. You're not supposed to sink down to their level. And thankfully, the Patriots didn't do that. They came out a 31-13 win. You handled them very easily, obviously. And, you continue on from there and you continue to do this to teams you're supposed to do. Now, listen, are you going to have a letdown every once in a while? Is every team perfect? Listen, only one team's gone undefeated. We should have been the second one. But only one team's gone undefeated. So you're going to have those lows in the season. Listen, are they going to play a bad team, maybe only win by 3 or 6 points, and you're going to look back and say, wow, I thought that this team was a little bit better. They should have done this. They should have done that. I'm sure that's going to happen. But I think it's more important that games like this happen more often than not.
Patriots did exactly what they needed to do. Exactly what they needed to do on all three phases. Slow start, again, similar to the game against the Saints. where they gave up that deep pass to Rashid. Same thing that happened in the first quarter. Cam Moore got a big play touchdown. And then after that, the defense just settled in. 0 points in the second half. Understanding that we're not about to let a rookie, have a great game against the defense, their defense. That's not how. It's impossible. That's their mindset. There's no way. So they're able to get pressure, get Cam Ward off his spot. Like, he's a mobile quarterback, but it's not like Lamar Jackson. And also he's trying to stay in the pocket and make plays. So what that's going to do is give the defensive line opportunities to get to the quarterback. Got big pressure. K'Lavon Chase on. I mean, that was really the game changer. That really ended the game right there. With that strip sack from a recovery for a touchdown. That was the game. Tone setter, understanding before the half. 39-yard touchdown. Drake made a Keyshawn Moody. Said it when he got drafted. Should have got some opportunities to play. Took him a few years to get healthy, get right. The college tape is crazy. You just go back and watch that. You go back and watch the LSU highlights. It was just as special as Jefferson Chase. I believe he's going to be that great. I see it. Catches everything. Third down. Like, all his catches create first downs. And that's wide receiver one. That's literally what we're going to talk about that later. That's literally what wide receiver X's do. When you catch the ball, it creates first downs. You're literally moving the chains. So it's 23 years old with May and Booty. It's going to be dangerous for years to come. They have the cap space. It was, that play is what we're going to see throughout the rest of the season, because their chemistry is going to continue to grow. Drake May's completion percentage down the field is the best in the league. We have a young phenom. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
it's his ability to be so poised in the pocket this early, not really phased, and be able to make throws down the field, roll out the pocket. We want him to slide a little bit more. That was just kind of it happens. It's football type play. Sometimes those plays are going to happen, but came out the game, went right back in, did what they needed to do, led them down to a touchdown. That pass to Austin Hooper, a little corner route in the back of the end zone. Like, we have red zone threats, multiple red zone threats. You have Diggs, Hooper, Henry, Moody, Douglas, Mac Hollins.
I mean, Drake May's a red zone threat. It's
reason
amazing.
why, yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you have a QB that, listen, I don't think I got to say I love Tom Brady, but, it's a big difference when, there's not a statue behind the offensive line. Like, something breaks down, the play isn't over. I mean, and you saw that one of his, first starts in the NFL against the Titans last year at the end of that game. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league that are making that play that he made last year to send that game in overtime.
Yeah, that play. Yeah, that was really when I knew we had the one. The wide receiver room, the group, they're motivated because everyone says, the casuals, the so-called experts, there's a reason why his completion percentage is that high. Receivers are also catching the football, and it's not like he's just checking it down every time. They're deep passes down the field. They're catching the football in traffic, contested. Mm-hmm. So when you continue to say it's a weak wide receiver group, but the quarterback leads the NFL in completion percentage, it's an oxymoron. Like, you're contradicting yourself. So how could it be a weak wide receiver room if they're catching the football? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because I
So
mean, no matter how good you are as a quarterback, they're not getting open and they're not catching the ball. I mean, listen, you could have Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, whoever you want standing back there. If your wide receivers are me and you, their high, completion percentage isn't going to be very good.
so it's just they'll get their respect as the season goes on. As the season goes on, Pop Douglas making that incredible one-handed catch on fourth down in the red zone. Those are momentum changing plays in the red area. Like that means you're situationally, we can depend on you. We can depend on everybody. I'm not worried about anyone right, like as it stands right now. I'm not worried about anyone when it comes to catching the football on our team. Everyone catch that, they all catch everything. Like that catch for Austin Hooper, like it's not a lot of tight end twos that can make that catch in the NFL. Like he could be a starting tight end on plenty 10 plus teams. And the fact that he's out tight end too, it just makes it even it makes us even dangerous. Seriously, because now you have both tight ends with him and Henry out there. You can run the ball. Now you got the illusion of the play action. Ramondre could just walk right in the end zone. Or Drake May off of RPO. You have so many threats. Do that off of play action. You have two legit red zone threats, 6'5" plus, in that short amount of space with his accuracy. I mean, we're gonna be dangerous for years to come, man. So just grateful. That's really what it is. It took about 4.5 years. Battle through. I got to give credit to that.
Jets.
I still got to give credit to Gerard Mayo. They could have drafted anyone at 3 last year. They could have shocked teams. We've seen situations where during the draft, teams were supposed to draft certain players and they didn't draft them. So I'm going to give Gerard Mayo also some credit. They came in there, felt like, listen, go get Drake May. They made that move. They made that move. So it was a collaboration of everything to me. But right now, Mike Vrabel was the perfect coach for May because of the experience, because of what he's already accomplished in a Patriots uniform. It just makes everything better, more fluid. Josh McDaniels being there, just see the way they play, the way he's growing in this offense. McDaniels is able to, he could be more complex with the play calling because they're completing plays down the field on an efficient level. So why wouldn't you? I can see more trick plays. Don't be surprised we see a few more trick plays. Get Marcus Jones out there. Marcus Jones, one of the best players in the league. Best players in the league, for sure.
Call that a utility player in the MLB.
Yeah, his versatility. Take a punt return for a touchdown. Got an interception in this game against the Titans. His leadership at that nickel back position. Secondary is shut down. Got 6'1" on each side of the field. We'll call it Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. And then you have just a versatile, he's 5'8", but he plays much bigger than his height. He's able to make plays, get deflections, and he's a threat on the special teams as your nickel back. Everything is shut down. Linebackers are doing a much better job. Splain, Ellis, Gibbons, Mabu on third down situations, guarding tight ends. They've been improving. They've been able to they missed some tackles earlier in the season, but they've done much better over this win streak. And it's really just trying to get a consistent pass rush. The interior on the D-line, locked down. With Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, it's locked down. I mean, you have to worry about both players, and they're disruptive right there in the middle of the pocket. You just need another edge rusher. They could be scary hours because everything is covered on the backside. Everything is covered on the backside, and I've been so impressed with the safety play. Jalen Hawkins, I know he's missed the last few games with the hamstring. Kyle Duggar, there were talks about, and during the preseason, that was he going to get cut, stay with us, stay with the Patriots, making plays, starting at that safety position. He's a versatile player. Once he's locked in and understands the scheme and the system, nothing's happening. He's he's one of the best players. During the drought, he was making key game-changing plays. So now because it took some time for him to adjust to this defense, a different type of defense. But if he gets it going and then Hawkins comes back, I mean, the versatility there is going to be endless on the back end. Just get a couple more pass rushers, you could have something successful, because 39 rushing yards allowed, so nothing's happening on the ground. So just the change of events from one year to the next, I've been very impressed, and just the way the execution, how everybody's prepared. Doesn't matter who they're playing, everybody does exactly what they're supposed to do.